clear. Go!
Welcome to the gameplay demo walkthrough of CD Projekt Red's upcoming title, Cyberpunk 2077. A narrative-driven, open-world RPG set in a dark version of the future. Before we start, a small but important disclaimer. The gameplay you're about to see is from a work-in-progress version of the game. Everything you see is potentially subject to change. In Cyberpunk 2077, you can fully customize your character using a deep customization system. For this demo, we're going to play a female. Keep in mind that what you see here is not final. We just want to give you a glimpse of what will be possible in the released game. This is an RPG, so before we get into our appearance, we need to define our backstory. What you choose here will unlock different possibilities later in the game. Also, you can use an array of different options to modify how you look. These include body type, hairstyle, tattoos, makeup, skin tone, and many, many more. But visuals aren't everything. You'll also be able to customize your initial attribute setup. You'll notice we didn't pick a class. Cyberpunk 2077 features a fluid class system, and you'll be able to modify your class throughout the game. This demo takes place near the beginning of the game. V and her friend Jackie, along with a netrunner named Tiba, are hired to find and retrieve a missing person, a girl whose locator implant went dark.
Almost clear. Go!
12:37 on your right. Girls inside. Biomon's been down an hour. Better Delta.
Cyberpunk 2077 is a first-person role-playing game. This perspective enables us to maximize your immersion.
Should have full access in 2.8 seconds. Reached it. Your turn.
Órale, lito way, I know.
Alarms neutralized.
Late. Is that her? That our target, V?
Room's too simple. Not our girl, I think. Keep looking.
It looks like these scavengers are kidnapping people to harvest their implants. Okay, things are about to get heated. We'll take a reflex booster that temporarily allows us to use the Koreznikov ability. This is Koreznikov.
He's moving! Cover! Find cover! Blast the wall! You'll get him!
Can't see shit!
Oh, you got fucking
Got none to fucking use!
got options here!
Room he's in looks out on the balcony. Got a window on the left. Go!
China, get his attention! The west. Terminado! Won't be needing this anymore. Pussy.
Layout shows only one room left. The bathroom. Go.
Sure hope our target's in there. Cabrones.
Think I got her. Got our target.
We make it? She alive?
This does not look good.
No, in a minute. Jacking into Biomon. Sandra Dorset, NC 570442. Got a winner. Or she will be if we can get her to a hospital. Sheesh. Trauma Team Platinum, too.
Platinum? Shit, TT should have swooped in if she sneezed.
Something's jamming the Biomon signal. Talk to me, T-Bug.
Virus, probably. Locate our neurosocket. Should be a shard slotted in. Shit's probably on that. If we clear it, free up the signal, TT could actually drop in, take her off our hands.
Got the shard. Removing it now. Done.
Greetings, Sandra. An emergency evacuation unit has been dispatched and is due to arrive at your location in 180 seconds.
Biomon claims trauma will be here in 3 minutes.
Like the fucking cavalry. Well, let's get her out of here.
Your premium plan will cover 90% of the projected costs of your
Oh, mierda, she's flatlining!
V, need to know what's going on.
Jackie, air hypo!
Can't, China!
She's stable.
Fuera, Jaina. Get her outside. I'll cover you.
It turns out a virus disrupted the girl's locator implant. We've fixed that, and now help is inbound.
Swarm of the sons of bitches, 2 vans full, just pulled up outside.
Fuera, get her out. Terrorists!
Stand clear. Landing. Stop where you are! Place the patient on the stretcher. 5 steps back. Now! I said step back! PT-133 to control. Patient NC570442 secured. Stimulants being administered, 70 milligrams dopamine, 110 norepinephrine, 800 Viagra.
Hey, give us a lift out of here? No problem.
Cutting connection. T-Bug out.
All clear.
That was Trauma
Let's see when
Team,
we blow.
a kind of high-end premium medical
Don't
insurance.
have much time from what Bug said.
We've delivered the target, and T-Bug has notified us that the scavengers have called in reinforcements. Let's get out of here before they arrive.
I got the eddies for new wheels now. Eyeing something real fine, too. How about you, Jaina? Probably blow it all on booze in 3 days.
Talking about somebody else, Jack. You cleaner than a cunt out of combat.
Cyberpunk is a mature, visceral experience, and as such, it will let you explore a variety of different interactions with the game world. And as you just saw, its people.
Hello, Night City. Your man Stan here with a scoop sheet on all last night's bids. But first, remember the man, the myth, Johnny Silverhand. Been a year since he went on his last ride. All you gunks sitting in the afterlife nursing that scotch, waiting for something better. You know what I mean.
The job was a success, and V obviously has some money to burn.
Hey, sup, V? Look, I need to talk to you. That news as big as my balls.
And I got a hot date with my Ripper Doc.
Come on, Jaina, make the doc wait. Pull some pants on your culo and get down here. Subway entrance, and bring your iron.
Okay, Jackie has just told us that he has some big news for us, and we have an appointment with our Ripper Doc today. Before we leave, let's take a good look around our apartment. Good morning, Night City. The song on the radio is by rocker boy Johnny Silverhand. It's part of our creative process to draw inspiration from the pen and paper system created by Mike Pondsmith, and to put our own 2077 spin on it. Let's go grab our gear. Okay, we'll take V's trusty pistol, and also grab our jacket. Since Cyberpunk 2077 is an RPG, the jacket not only provides us with protective stats like armor, but it also increases our street cred. Street cred is a form of experience the player acquires by completing side missions. It is used to unlock new vendors and content throughout Night City. All right, let's go meet Jack. V's current apartment is located inside a mega building, a huge building complex that forms a micro-society of its own. In this timeline, technology and the world have evolved in some ways that seem familiar, but entirely surprising in others. As an example, in this world, people pay with eddies, slang for Eurodollars. We make sure to root every detail in the world's lore, so everything has its purpose and stays believable. A big part of our RPG experience is having a world that is interactive. Here, a generic ad has morphed into an advertisement specifically tailored to V, informing her of the nearest vendor she can purchase the product. In this case, it shows us where to find some Nicola soda.
For the very first stages of food production, with bioquality that even Mother Nature can only. Try out our freshly developed tank and let your tongue be amazed. Yum.
Hey, you're all 45. It's ready.
This is Wilson, one of Night City's many gunsmiths. We won't be checking his wares today, but you can purchase and upgrade your weapons and gear throughout the city. Cyberpunk 2077 is set in Night City, a bustling metropolis located on the coast of the Free State of North California. It's a dystopian city where violence and oppression are the norm. We are working hard to make Night City a fully realized, seamless open world with no loading screens. Currently, we're in Watson, a former industrial district where crime now mixes with money.
Very strong signal. You kidding me? Damn signal gonked out 3 times. 3 times, yo! It's a piece of shit. Now give me back my eddies.
Silverhand's debut album, that. Yeah, I know ever since he asked me.
Could be some truth to that.
We've greatly enhanced our crowd and community systems to create the most believable city in any open-world game to date. The city's streets are bustling with crowds of people from all facets of life, all living their lives within a full day and night cycle. Okay, there's Jackie.
Híjole. Fucking finally. Buckle up. Shit's happening.
What's up, Jack?
Dexter Deshawn. Huh? Sound familiar? Hombre wants to talk to you. One of Night City's top fixers, eh? Okay, you see that caddy? Need to walk on over there and get us a job, Jaina.
Fine, I'll meet him. Talk.
I'll be at Senor Ripper's. Good news to me. Good luck, V!
It turns out we've caught the attention of one of Night City's biggest players, Dexter Deshawn, a fixer, a person who gets things done. He wants to meet up and discuss a job.
Get in.
Let's see what he has for us.
Yo, Miss V, a pleasure. Let's roll. Scanning a serious job just now. Playing gargantuan compared to smashing up a scare phone. You interested?
Interested, sure. Tell me more.
Well, glad to hear it. Before we get started on this, though, I need to be sure. Sure you all right.
All right. And the nature of this test?
Slot in the show. See, got a classic tale for you. Psycho gang, just doing his thing, jumped a corp convoy, got away with gear. Now I need me that little combat bot. They call it the Flathead. Of course, I got the Eddies to buy it, but me and the Maelstrom boys ain't the best of friends. No flow to our convo, see?
Who's the woman?
Corporal agent. She's on the hunt for the dogs who sold the Gangoon's info on the convoy. Got herself a prisoner. Her chief suspect, most likely. Going on 20 hours since the convoy was jumped, and she still don't have no guilty party. Gotta be desperate by now. Be wise to think how you could use that. Got any questions for me?
Clear on it all, I think. Time I got to work.
Beautiful. Here's hoping my inkling checks out.
So, see you at the afterlife soon as the job's done.
Do good, and this'll be the start of a beautiful friendship based on heaps of eddies.
It seems Dexter has given us a test of sorts to see if we're worthy. He wants us to retrieve a piece of high-tech combat gear a local gang stole from the Militech megacorp. We'll be able to approach this job from a variety of angles. Let's try calling the Militech contact to see where that leads.
100 times what I could take.
Stout here. Hi, heard you were looking for some tech. Let's talk.
Hey, everybody shut it! Where is it? Come on, spill!
On the horn? No.
Amateur hour, Jesus. First exit off Skyline going towards the NID. Storm channel under the overpass. Meet you there.
The situation's tricky because the contract giver is a corporate agent who seems a little high-strung. Before we get down to business, it's a great idea to visit our Ripper Doc.
Yeah, you! You see this cam, huh? Yeah, got a real whack take, change your fucking life.
Crime is a common occurrence. Night City is not a safe place. Life here is not easy.
I'm Cindy. Got some real juicy soup.
Your heart chakra looks a little out of whack, babe.
V!
I can release...
How'd it play out with Dex?
It's all here.
All right, I'll check it out while I wait for you.
V? Dr. Vector, we'll see you now.
We're at a Ripper Doc clinic. Ripper Docs are specialist vendors who offer people the possibility to install or upgrade their cyberware.
Vicky, spry as ever, you old Ripper.
Hernandez pounces on the chance, coming in with a couple of hooks. Gaining the upper hand pretty darn quickly.
Need to bump up my specs and get a grip.
Really? Now? Finally?
Vic, shit just got real. Hitting the major leagues. Got a job from Dex Deshawn.
The Dexter Deshawn? Yeah, that is something. But let me guess. Hasn't paid you yet.
Quit crying, Vic. I'll bring you the Eddies later, with interest. You know I will.
Last time, I swear. Now sit. That's Karoshi. Best I've got. And should be about right under the circumstances. Now jack in. You peruse and choose while I scan. See what's going on inside.
We're going to install both an optical scanner...
Mark 1, like I said. Decent enough scanner. Displays data on your cornea.
...and a subdermal weapon grip.
The link's not labeled. And to be perfectly honest, not entirely sure where the hell I got it. Still, looks like it'll talk to Kiroshi Tech.
I'm ready. Carve away.
Okay, all clean. Now for the fun stuff. Lay that Major League arm of yours right here. Just like that. Thanks. Now a bit of anesthetic, and I can start cutting. Feel anything?
Doc. Play-by-play. Makes you sound like a dentist. They're always going on and on.
Don't be mean now. Remember, I'm old. I got a shaky Gannic hand. Could slip. Lights out for a minute, all right? Good. So let's test it. Linking you in. You might feel a little discomfort, maybe blurred vision, low contrast, glitches. So, how's it look to you?
With the scanner, we can zoom in on things and take a closer look.
This is fantastic.
Beautiful. Time for the scanner.
Additionally, we can analyze objects, get details on enemy weak points or gang affiliation.
It might take you a while to adjust, but first time's rarely the charm with anything, really. Scanner should eventually sync with your thought processes and read your intentions. Ought to work like a charm. Now draw your weapon. You should see your ammo count in a brand new sight.
The subdermal weapon grip links to our scanner and shows us weapon information like ammo count and fire modes. It also increases the base damage on all connected weapons.
Shit, Victor. Not bad. I don't know what to say.
Say you'll take this and remember the dosage. 2 whiffs now, and another 2 in an hour.
Thanks again. You're the best, Vic.
Go on, kid. Show them what you can do. And once you hit the big time, don't forget where you came from. Keep your guard, idiot.
While some Ripper docs operate legally, others provide black market services. For the right price, they can even offer to install illegal, military-grade cyberware.
Left a few minutes ago. Said he'd wait outside.
Well, Kiroshi. Well, Vic's got a soft spot for you, Heina. Come on, how about you use them fancy-ass optics to scan my new wheels?
Sure, but you'll have to let me take it for a spin.
Hey, just watch the paint job. Who's this pendejo? Hey, carnal! Hey, you got a problem?
This guy looks an awful lot like one of those scavengers we took out earlier.
Something tells me that wasn't no coincidence, huh?
Jackie's car is a super-powered sports car running on Chew-2, the super fuel of the future. Players can explore Night City freely, in many different cars, on bikes, and in other types of vehicles.
not look good. Puta madre!
Grab the wheel, Jack!
Oh, fuck!
It looks like the scavengers from earlier are still angry.
They're pulling ahead, Heiner. Watch it now. Got it. All right.
I think we got rid of him. That was intense.
Ah! Shit! The fuck was that?
Devils.
Night City never sleeps. Danger lurks around every corner, even in daytime. Random encounters like these are an example of how your actions directly influence your open world experience.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
Okay, Jackie.
So, think they're done riding our asses?
Scavs? Sure, maybe. Should be looking for a new spot to slice and dice, not gunning after us. But who knows? Real messed up pendejos, Scavs. Saw it yourself.
Many forces are fighting for control of Night City, but the mega corporations are the real showroom. The agent we're going to meet represents Militech, one of the largest companies in the private military sector.
Why are we stopping?
Remember the corpo off Dex's shard? Ranger, she's in the area and we're gonna meet.
Let me guess. She's in hot corporal water. Desperate. Then you think you can use that.
See if I can, yeah.
Since Cyberpunk 2077 is an RPG, preparation will be key when dealing with Night City's powerful, especially when these are corpos. Instead of just rushing in, let's assess the situation with our freshly installed Kiroshi optical scanner.
There. Let's take a closer look.
Composite armor. Car's a fucking tank. Shit.
Yeah, Militech. No doubt about it. You sure you still want to meet him?
Yeah, gotta do this. But don't you move a damn muscle. Not unless I start, that is.
These guys are levels higher than we are. Let's try to approach them carefully.
Stout, take it you were the one to call?
Yep. Wanted... Think you're smart? Thought you could blackmail me, bitch? Set conditions? Calm the hell down! What is this?
I've got you now, asshole!
You're insane! Who the fuck is this?
I'll know in 2 seconds flat. That fucking thing ready?
All set.
Are you here alone?
The corpos have hacked us through our personal link and have subjected us to a kind of lie detector program. The dialogue system in Cyberpunk 2077 is fully gameplay driven.
I asked if you came alone!
Yep, just little old me.
She's lying.
Search the area.
Now listen, please. We don't need to be here all day. This piece of shit, Anthony Gilchrist, did he or another asshole at Militech leak info to you or anyone else about a convoy?
It might be tempting to reach for the gun, but the consequences could be
Got
dire.
nothing to do with him or
Remember,
Militech.
these guys are really tough.
Shit. Checks out.
You got nothing on me! Nothing! Won't get away with this, you bitch! You're dead!
Somebody shut him up.
Take me home! Now!
All right. I have no idea who you're working for or what you even want, but you better give me something solid or I will end you.
I've got an offer.
Oh, you are stretching. This better be fucking good.
Gangoons who ripped you off? I know where to find them. They got a bot I want. Give me the funds to buy that bot. You can do what you want with the gang.
I don't give a shit about the thieves. I want my mold. Cred chip, 50K. Just enough to buy you your bot. Thing is, chip's gotta make it into the thieves' terminal. That's all I need. Think you can do that? Then we got a deal.
Fine. I'm in.
Try to fuck me in any way, and I'll be seeing you real soon.
You're making a mistake! This cunt's good as dead! And she'll take you down with her!
The agent gave us the money to buy the bot we need from the gang. By choosing to call the Militech agent earlier, we have now opened up a non-violent path through this quest. Of course, we could try and keep the money, but that would mean we'd have to take the merchandise by force, which requires a lot of firepower.
Looked a little fishy, you know? People tense. No signal, so I stayed put.
Good thing, too. Went down about like I expected. Made a deal, and we're good to meet with Maelstrom now.
Mm-hmm.
Be there soon. What do you expect?
Corps don't forgive or forget. Even these Borg fucks sense that. Feel the pressure. That's why they're holed up in this shithole, praying to the almighty Trip 6. Gotta move the tech, but they can't. Cause your new best friend from the tripped-out, tanked-out SUV is just begging them to try. How you want to do this?
Even now, we can choose how to approach this quest. Do we go in guns blazing, or do we try to negotiate for the bot?
Plan's simple. We pay with the Corpo's cred and get out.
I don't know, but you're calling this one.
For this demo, let's try the more
don't trust my
diplomatic
charm?
approach.
Tough shit. All we need's for them to buy it.
Don't know you.
Want to talk to Royce.
Main room. I'm waiting.
They look damn well prepared.
All strapped with Militech gear.
Psycho Borgs chromed out with military-grade hardware worth millions. Should be
The guys we're about to meet are dangerous. They are members of the Maelstrom gang, and their obsession with body modification goes way beyond even this world's standards. On their path to becoming machines, they don't shy away from even the most extreme measures.
Anti-personnel mine. Shrapnel spitter. My favorite.
Cancun's getting creative with their gear.
It looks like they made this abandoned All Foods meat factory their hideout. Charming.
Another one? Seriously?
Maybe we should have taken him by surprise.
A little late for regrets like that. Got us in their sights now. Just keep moving. Stay cool. They're just trying to spook us.
Remember, we've chosen to buy the tech, not steal it. Hopefully this will go fast and easy. This is a pretty well-guarded place. You can imagine what would have happened if we'd taken the violent path.
What?
Looking to buy a bot. Model MTO D12. Looks like a spider.
Couch planted. Yo, Kurt, peek around the corner, see if we got anything like that. Well, shit. Sit down.
I'll stand. Can't move on your culo. Makes you an easy target.
Sit down.
That really necessary, hombre?
I ain't your hombre. Sit. Sit your ass down before I plant a bullet in your skull.
Jack, sit down.
This ain't gonna end well, but...
Shit. Well, alright, fucking bravo. Come on, lighten up. Have a whiff. Better. Now we can talk.
The bot. Need to see it.
Suit yourself. Fucking tricked out, state-of-the-art this thing. Don't even got no standard port. Bells and whistles though, dynamic camo armor and motor impulses rivaling that of the human nervous system. Its actuators are actually pimped with titanium fiber, and it can go anywhere, literally. Watch this. Fully integrated link too, so when the spider starts crawling up walls, dangling from ceilings, you could lose your lunch. So, what you think?
Pay up and let's get the fuck out of here.
The bot. I'll take it.
2 questions. What the fuck's going on? And who the fuck is this?
Got 50 large on this cred ship.
And you positively reek of Militech.
Dexter Deshawn sent me.
Dexter Deshawn. Dreads. Gold plate. Fat old fuck. That him?
We'll pay for the bot and be on our way.
How much you say you had? 50K?
Cred's on this.
Move it.
Woo, not the smoothest of deals, but it worked out in the end, right? Flathead's good gear. It'll do the trick. Whatever that trick is.
Shit. Shit, shit, shit!
It turns out the cred chip we got from the Militech agent contained a virus which fried their system.
Virus must have triple security.
Royce, their leader, is making a break for it.
Militech had to end this way.
Before we figure out a way to leave, let's grab the splinter that controls the bot from one of these dead maelstromers. The inspection system allows us to take a closer look at the splinter. You can inspect specific items to reveal details that can help in solving quests. Okay, let's equip the splinter to our chipware slot. With this done, the bot will now follow us wherever we go. All right, what else do we have here? Nice! A street-modified tech shotgun. Tech weapons fire rounds that penetrate walls and other types of cover. They also have an alternate fire mode that allows you to power up shots and deal more damage. It looks like there are several ways out of this room, like those gates, for example. However, you'd have to be a skilled netrunner to hack into this terminal. Luckily, our engineering skills should allow us to disassemble that maintenance panel so we can get through the door.
Got it.
There are many skills in the game that players can apply in solving problems. The engineering skill can be used to fix, disassemble, and disarm devices blocking
Production
your
lane
path.
passes through here.
And we're gonna pass through with it.
So, from this point on, we're going to unlock the abilities of a high-end character to showcase some of the different mechanics we have in the game.
I'll get him.
One of the new weapon modules we now have installed is a ricochet targeting system connected to our eyes. This allows players to bounce bullets off walls and hit enemies hiding behind cover. This is another targeting system that will reveal enemies behind walls. Paired with the penetrating rounds of our tech shotgun, it's a deadly combination. Looks like we found some loot. This is a smart gun. It's one of the more advanced weapons in the game, allowing bullets to track and follow their target. It's one of many different weapons players can acquire. Weapons are built of modules that allow for deep customization and progression. This way, you can be sure to find something that will suit your playstyle.
The toughest bastards guarding this route. Probably some reason for that. Motherfucker!
Jesus Christ! My legs!
Just a reminder, everything you've seen and are about to see, including this particular feature we're about to show you, is from a work-in-progress version of the game and may change over the course of development.
Okay, all exits covered?
Okay, let's try something different. We're going to take this guy down and connect directly to his neural side. In the world of Cyberpunk, once you are jacked into a network, you have access to everything it connects to. Through this Maelstrom gang member, we've now connected to the gang hideout's internal network. This is the building's personnel system. Let's focus on the squad containing the Maelstrom ganger we just connected to. From here, we can deploy software that affects the whole squad. For now, we'll simply unlock the ability to perform quick hacks. All right, time to show off our new high-level abilities. With Quick Hack, using the backdoor we unlocked a minute ago, we'll install a virus that jams the connection between the Maelstrom ganger and his weapon. This will prevent him from firing. Looks like he's having a problem now. Nice. Some of you might recognize these mantis blades. We can also double jump and bounce off of walls, which makes us a very agile, fast solo.
I'll check down here.
Sweet, we just found a corporate tech rifle. Corpo weapons are top of the line. Let's scan this guy and see what's going on. It looks like Royce is back, and he's prepped. He's got an armored exoskeleton. We won't be able to get rid of him that easily. Our weapons are not dealing a lot of damage because he's packing an autonomous shield. Luckily, the scan we performed earlier revealed a weak spot. Attacking it should bring the shield down.
So, how's it look to you?
With the scanner, we can zoom in on things and take a closer look.
This is fantastic.
Beautiful. Time for the scanner.
Additionally, We can analyze objects, get details on enemy weak points or gang affiliation.
It might take you a while to adjust, but first time's rarely the charm with anything, really. Scanner should eventually sync with your thought processes and read your intentions. Ought to work like a charm. Now draw your weapon. You should see your ammo count in a brand new sight.
The subdermal weapon grip links to our scanner and shows us weapon information like ammo count and fire modes. It also increases the base damage on all connected weapons.
Shit, Victor. Not bad. I don't know what to say.
Say you'll take this and remember the dosage. 2 whiffs now, and another 2 in an hour.
Thanks again. You're the best, Vic.
Go on, kid. Show him what you can do. And once you hit the big time, don't forget where you came from. Keep your guard, idiot.
While some Ripper docs operate legally, others provide black market services. For the right price, they can even offer to install illegal, military-grade cyberware.
Left a few minutes ago. Said he'd wait outside.
Well, Hiroshi. Well, Vic's got a soft spot for you, Heina. Come on, how about you use them fancy-ass optics to scan my new wheels?
Sure, but you'll have to let me take it for a spin.
Hey, just watch the paint job. Who's this pendejo? Hey, carnal! Hey, you got a problem?
This guy looks an awful lot like one of those scavengers we took out earlier.
Something tells me that wasn't no coincidence, huh?
Jackie's car is a super-powered sports car running on Chew-2, the super fuel of the future. Players can explore Night City freely, in many different cars, on bikes, and in other types of vehicles.
This does not look good. Puta madre!
Grab the wheel, Jack!
Oh, fuck!
It looks like the scavengers from earlier are still angry.
They're pulling ahead, Heina! Watch it now! Got it! All right!
I think we got rid of them. That was intense.
Shit! The fuck was that?
Pendejos.
Night City never sleeps. Danger lurks around every corner, even in daytime. Random encounters like these are an example of how your actions directly influence your open world experience.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
Okay, Jackie.
So, they're done riding our asses?
Scavs? Sure, maybe. Should be looking for a new spot to slice and dice, not gunning after us. But who knows? Real messed up pendejos, Scavs. Saw it yourself.
Many forces are fighting for control of Night City, but the mega corporations are the real showroom. The agent we're going to meet represents Militech, one of the largest companies in the private military sector.
Why are we stopping?
Remember the corpo off Dex's Shard? Ranger, she's in the area and we're gonna meet.
Let me guess. She's in hot corporal water. Desperate. Then you think you can use that.
See if I can, yeah?
Since Cyberpunk 2077 is an RPG, preparation will be key when dealing with Night City's powerful, especially when these are corpos. Instead of just rushing in, let's assess the situation with our freshly installed Kiroshi optical scanner.
There. Let's take a closer look.
Composite armor. Car's a fucking tank. Shit.
Yeah, Militech. No doubt about it. You sure you still want to meet him?
Yeah, gotta do this. But don't you move a damn muscle. Not unless I start, that is.
These guys are levels higher than we are. Let's try to approach them carefully.
Stout. Take it you were the one to call?
Yep. Wanted... Think you're smart? Thought you could blackmail me, bitch? Set conditions? Calm the hell down. What is this?
I got you now, asshole!
You're insane! Who the fuck is this?
I'll know in 2 seconds flat. That fucking thing ready?
All set.
Are you here alone?
The Corpos have hacked us through our personal link and have subjected us to a kind of lie detector program. The dialogue system in Cyberpunk 2077 is fully gameplay driven.
I asked if you came alone!
Yep, just little old me.
She's lying.
Search the area.
Now listen, please. We don't need to be here all day. This piece of shit, Anthony Gilchrist, did he or another asshole at Militech leak info to you or anyone else about a convoy?
It might be tempting to reach for the gun, but the consequences could
Got
be
nothing
dire.
to do with him or
Remember,
Militech.
these guys are really tough.
Shit. Checks out.
You got nothing on me! Nothing! Won't get away with this, you bitch! You're dead!
Somebody shut him up.
Take me home! Now!
All right. I have no idea who you're working for or what you even want, but you better give me something solid or I will end you.
I've got an offer.
Oh, you are stretching. This better be fucking good.
Gang goons who ripped you off? I know where to find them. They got a bot I want. Give me the funds to buy that bot. You can do what you want with the gang.
I don't give a shit about the thieves. I want my mold. Cred chip, 50K. Just enough to buy you your bot. Thing is, chip's gotta make it into the thieves' terminal. That's all I need. Think you can do that? Then we got a deal.
Fine. I'm in.
Try to fuck me in any way, and I'll be seeing you real soon.
You're making a mistake! This cunt's good as dead!
The agent gave us the money to buy the bot we need from the gang. By choosing to call the Militech agent earlier, we have now opened up a non-violent path through this quest. Of course, we could try and keep the money, but that would mean we'd have to take the merchandise by force, which requires a lot of firepower.
Looked a little fishy, you know? People tense. No signal, so I stayed put.
Good thing, too. Went down about like I expected. Made a deal, and we're good to meet with Maelstrom now.
Mm-hmm.
Be there soon. What do you expect?
Corps don't forgive or forget. Even these Borg fucks sense that. Feel the pressure. That's why they're holed up in this shithole, praying to the almighty Trip 6. Gotta move the tech, but they can't. Cause your new best friend from the tripped out, tanked out SUV is just begging them to try. How you want to do this?
Even now, we can choose how to approach this quest. Do we go in guns blazing, or do we try to negotiate
All right,
for the bot?
plan's simple. We pay with the Corpo's cred and get out.
I don't know, but you're calling this one.
For this demo, let's try the
What,
more
don't trust my
diplomatic
charm?
approach.
Tough shit. All we need's for them to buy it. Want to talk to Royce.
Main room. I'm waiting.
They look damn well prepared.
All strapped with Militech gear.
Psychoborgs chromed out with military-grade hardware worth millions. Should be
The guys we're about to meet are dangerous. They are members of the Maelstrom gang, and their obsession with body modification goes way beyond even this world's standards. On their path to becoming machines, they don't shy away from even the most extreme measures.
Anti-personnel mine. Shrapnel splitter. My favorite.
Gangoon's getting creative with their gear.
It looks like they made this abandoned All Foods meat factory their hideout. Charming.
Another one? Seriously?
Maybe we should have taken him by surprise.
A little late for regrets like that. Got us in their sights now. Just keep moving. Stay cool. They're just trying to spook us.
Remember, we've chosen to buy the tech, not steal it. Hopefully this will go fast and easy. This is a pretty well-guarded place. You can imagine what would have happened if we'd taken the violent path.
What?
Looking to buy a bot. Model MTO D12. Looks like a spider.
Couch planted. Yo, Kurt, peek around the corner, see if we got anything like that. Well, shit. Sit down.
I'll stand. Can't move on your culo. Makes you an easy target.
Sit down.
That really necessary, hombre?
I ain't your hombre. Sit. Sit your ass down before I plant a bullet in your skull.
Jack, sit down.
This ain't gonna end well, but...
Shit. Well, alright. Fucking bravo. Come on, lighten up. Have a whiff. Better. Now we can talk.
The bot. Need to see it.
Suit yourself. Fucking tricked out, state-of-the-art this thing. Don't even got no standard port.
June is Icons Month at IGN, where we're profiling iconic video game industry figures,
Pop quiz,
characters,
hotshot. The
series,
year is
and
2077 and you're a cybernetically augmented street samurai trying to make ends
Today,
meet in
the
the
story
neon-soaked
director at
concrete
CD
jungle of
Projekt
Night
Red
City.
discusses
But there's
how the
one
studio
problem.
fills
The
its
cybernetic
games with
ghost...
meaningful choices and iconic consequences.
My name is Marcin Blacha. I'm working in CD Projekt Red as the story director, and in The Witcher 3 I was working as the lead writer. In CD Projekt Red we want to build worlds that are believable and the worlds that are really engaging. The Witcher is set in a really grim and gritty world, and we always want to keep this world to be realistic. That's the reason why we avoid black and white choices, because they put the gamer out of the experience. In Witcher games we want to talk about serious problems, about, complex situations, about things that sometimes make the player uncomfortable. So we avoid black and white choices because they are not emotionally engaging. The world outside is not black and white, it's not simple. And when you want to create something as engaging as the real world, you have to avoid black and white choices. When you are doing a game with many choices and consequences, you can always fall into a trap and you start to creating a pattern. It's easy to recognize this pattern. And sometimes I play video games or I watch movies, and at some point I start to see the pattern, and then I know what's going to happen next, and I know who done it, and who's the murderer. And we want to avoid it because we believe that our players are smart people, and we don't want them to be bored by the game. So what we do is sometimes consequences in our games rely on many choices. For example, with Ciri, the fate of Ciri depends on many choices, and sometimes, on the other hand, very heavy consequence relies on something really simple and something, trivial. And that's the case of Anna Henrietta. We want the player all the time to be aware and suspicious that we are planning something really bad. So we want the player to pay attention, and we want to surprise him all the time.
We shall go, accompanied by the best possible escorts. You, Captain, and Geralt.
So when we are working on our stories, usually we add those more meaningful choices and consequences later. And we do it because we want to be really familiar with all the stories we are crafting and with all the characters. For example, pretty late we understood what should happen to Ciri at the end. And I think it was a natural process because, we had some ideas how to end the game, but after, reworking it again, I think this enlightenment wasn't possible, at the beginning of the process. Games right now, visually they are like movies, and pretty soon they will be exactly like the movies. And I think that the games will start to look for their own identity, and they will find this identity in interaction. And what is interaction? It's choice and consequences. In the case of the story, you are choosing between two paths of the story or two moral choices. Let's say you play a game and you have this moment when you have to choose between something and something. At this moment, in modern games, usually you can pretty much guess what is going to happen if you choose this thing, and what will happen if you choose the other thing. The new generation of consoles will bring us more complex and more mature games. I expect that the storytelling will be more subtle, and that you won't have these gamey moments. You will be just going through a fluent experience when you make choices and when you meet the consequences, but it will be more organic, and you won't see those stitches that are, usually present in modern games.
And you are afraid. You feel fear.
You lie. I don't feel a thing anymore.
Pop quiz, hotshot. The year is 2077 and you're a cybernetically augmented street samurai trying to make ends meet in the neon-soaked concrete jungle of Night City. But there's one problem. The cybernetic ghost of Keanu Reeves lives in your head. What do you do? We'll all find out for ourselves when CD Projekt Red drops Cyberpunk 2077, their ridiculously highly anticipated magnum opus open-world RPG follow-up to The Witcher 3 that's more than 7 years in the making. But you already knew this, and you're probably counting down the days till the game is out. Well, good news, because in just moments, CDPR is giving us some brand new gameplay and a deep dive on what we can expect from Cyberpunk 2077 via the Night City Wire. So wake the f*** up, samurais. We've got a stream to watch.
Hello everybody, Max Scoville here, and welcome back to IGN's Summer of Gaming. It is almost time for the Night City Wire stream in which CD Projekt Red will showcase never-before-seen gameplay and reveal new details about the world and mechanics of Cyberpunk 2077. You already knew that, but we'll keep you company until then and get you up to speed on everything we know about the game so far. But while we do, there's something you can do for us. All summer long, IGN is asking you to give to the Bail Project and the World Health Organization by following the links in the video description or by heading over to donate.ign.com. The Bail Project provides bail for families in need of support in support of Black Lives Matter, and the World Health Organization's COVID-19 Response Fund, as you might suspect, is dedicated to studying, treating, and combating the coronavirus pandemic. By donating, you will have a chance to win IGN gift cards, game codes, or swag from companies like Bethesda and PlayStation, and donors who give more than $50 will have a chance to win a custom Summer of Gaming Xbox One X. For even more Summer of Gaming goodness, download the TikTok app, follow IGN, and search for IGN Summer of Gaming hashtag for a slew of bonus clips or to upload your own awesome gameplay moments, or you can leave us a Yappa comment on IGN.com, and your Yap might show up later on the stream. Plus, later today, we've got a Resident Evil 7 speedrun for charity and an episode of Next Gen Console Watch, and you can catch all of it wherever you stream IGN or on channel IGN1 on your Samsung TV Plus. Whew. Anyway, as for Cyberpunk 2077, let us take a quick crash course on everything we know about this ridiculously highly anticipated game, which will all be obsolete when we find out more at Night City Wire. But let's take a look anyway.
In the 7 years since it was first announced, Cyberpunk 2077 has generated a monumental amount of hype, in part by looking awesome in everything that's been shown so far, but also by being developed by the makers of the incredible Witcher RPG series. That developer, CD Projekt Red, has managed to keep our interest peaked by being very tight-lipped about what's in store. However, Cyberpunk is far from an unknown quantity. Here is everything we know about Cyberpunk 2077, as of the middle of 2020.
Cover! Find cover!
Cyberpunk 2077 is a single-player, open-world RPG with real-time combat which is seen almost entirely from a first-person perspective, with the rare exception of a few third-person cutscenes. You'll take on the role of a character known as V, but unlike Geralt of Rivia in the Witcher games, V is totally customizable, from stats and perks to their backstory or life path, and of course appearance, which lets you adjust everything from hair color all the way down to buttocks and genitalia. As the title would suggest, a major element in cyberpunk culture is body modification, cybernetic and otherwise, so expect character customization to be an ongoing thing. Just like in the Deus Ex series, upgrades to V's implants will affect gameplay, whether you're installing high-tech robotic eyeballs that help you aim your guns better, or a translator chip that opens up new dialogue options by making V fluent in a new language faster than you can say Rosetta Stone. In Cyberpunk 2077, it seems like many features we're accustomed to unlocking via menu screens could be applied more organically within the world thanks to the post-human setting. Meanwhile, street cred is an actual in-game stat, so picking out a cool outfit will do more than just make you look like a badass, it'll make NPCs treat you like one too. It sounds like how Fallout lets you boost your charisma stat with a cool hat, right? You might even have to make tough choices about whether to prioritize style or various combat resistances when deciding what not to wear. Would you rather die or look like a dork? That's the real question. CD Projekt Red's game is based on the 30-year-old pen-and-paper role-playing game Cyberpunk 2020, and the developers have been working closely with the original creator, Mike Pondsmith, to adapt the existing lore and rule set of the analog experience into a modern blockbuster video game. So if you're hungry for deep-cut lore, there's a stack of sourcebooks out there you can familiarize yourself with right now to get a head start, but given how much time has passed in-universe between Cyberpunk 2020 and 2077, the team at CDPR has had plenty of world-building of their own to do. Even die-hard fans of the original Cyberpunk will almost certainly have plenty of surprises. The overarching plot of the main campaign is still shrouded in mystery, but it seems like a major factor is the chip embedded in V's head. That sliver of silicon contains the digitized ghost of legendary rocker boy Johnny Silverhand. Johnny is a key figure in the original RPG, but even if you aren't up on your history, you'll probably instantly want to hang out with him because in Cyberpunk 2077, he's played by one Mr. Keanu Reeves. You may know him from such classic cyberpunk films as The Matrix, Johnny Mnemonic, or Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
No way!
But you can expect way more than a few hastily muttered celebrity one-liners. Keanu spent 15 days recording lines at CD Projekt Red's studio, and as a result, Johnny allegedly has more dialogue than any other character in the game, other than yours, of course. Aside from getting comfortable with this posthumous cybernetic stowaway sidekick, V will have to navigate relationships between Night City's numerous factions. On street level, that means tussling with gangs like, say, the Animals, who are a bunch of steroid-addled bodybuilders, or Maelstrom, whose body modifications are of a more high-tech variety. But on a larger scale, Night City is ruled by massive global corporations that manufacture everything and wield more control over people's day-to-day lives than the government. If The Witcher 3 is any indication, we're in for a substantial main campaign, but CD Projekt Red promises a wide variety of street story side quests on top of that, around 75 of them in fact. The team working on all that content is around 5 times larger than the one that built The Witcher 3's optional adventures, so we can expect them to be pretty meaty. At a glance, Cyberpunk's combat might look like straightforward first-person gunplay, but you can expect there to be more than one way to tackle your objectives. Depending on whether you choose to lean into combat or less confrontational skills like stealth and hacking, it seems like you'll have plenty of opportunities to talk your way out of tight situations. In terms of geographic scale, CDPR has estimated that Cyberpunk 2077 might be a bit smaller than The Witcher 3 in terms of square mileage, but acreage isn't everything. Night City is a densely packed urban metropolis as opposed to a medieval fantasy countryside, and that means we can expect a lot of towering skyscrapers that are potentially cities unto themselves. Of course, there will also be some wilderness areas. The Badlands on the outskirts of Night City are a drought-ravaged wasteland plagued by raiders. Either way, the team has put an emphasis on giving us an extremely detailed world to explore, and what we've seen so far suggests they might be telling the truth there. While Geralt's beloved steed Roach has left 4 big horseshoes to fill, Cyberpunk 2077 will have a stable of high-tech motor vehicles to get you from point A to point B in this sprawling dystopia. Expect to cruise around in everything from motorcycles inspired by Akira to kit-bashed muscle cars that pay homage to Mad Max. One thing CDPR has been very open about is Cyberpunk 2077's lack of microtransactions. Like The Witcher 3, there will be substantial free DLC updates post-launch and eventually some larger-scale paid expansions, likely akin to The Witcher 3's Hearts of Stone and Blood and Wine DLC. And there's also talk of Cyberpunk 2077 multiplayer down the road, but don't expect to see that until 2022 at the very earliest. So there you have it, a crash course in what to expect from Cyberpunk 2077. Undoubtedly, we will all know a whole lot more when CD Projekt Red shows even more in the scheduled Night City Wire presentation, and from there it's just a matter of counting down the days when this game finally comes out. What kind of character will your first run as V be? Let us know in the comments, and for everything else we find out about Cyberpunk 2077 before and after its launch, stay jacked in to IGN.
We've got to take a quick break right now, but stick around because the Night City Wire is just moments away, and later on we've still got Next Gen Console Watch 2020 and a whole bunch more. Keep those donations to the Bail Project and COVID Response Fund coming, and don't go anywhere.
IGN Summer of Gaming is presented by The Last of Us Part 2, available June 19th, rated M for mature. By the Army National Guard, working in our communities throughout the COVID pandemic to deliver food, build hospitals, and more. Go to nationalguard.com/esports for more info. And by Fuser, who will be partying with us all summer long.
I've got some big news. The bank finally came through, and I'm holding the keys to a brand new.
We're happy to present IGN's Summer of Gaming, featuring the latest and greatest in game reveals, news, trailers, next-gen coverage, and more. Our month-long event features our first-ever series of IGN Expos, where you'll get first looks at world premiere game trailers, exclusive game demos, and interviews you won't find anywhere else. IGN's Summer of Gaming, only on IGN and IGN One on Samsung TV Plus.
Tired of watching IGN on those tiny cell phones and tablets? Well, IGN is moving to your living rooms. Starting in June, tune into IGN One on your Samsung TV Plus to see all that IGN has to offer, beginning with our exclusive Summer of Gaming event. You'll get first looks at world premiere game trailers, exclusive game demos, and next-gen console coverage that you won't find on any other network, only on IGN 1.
The next generation of video gaming is on the horizon, and IGN is here to bring you the latest PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X news and analysis in our new weekly show, Next Gen Console Watch 2020. We'll bring on the experts to discuss and analyze all the latest developments around these new consoles. From frame rates, services, features, peripherals, and even all the new tech jargon, Next Gen Console Watch 2020 will keep you up to speed on everything leading up to the next generation of gaming. Join us every Friday for a new episode.
News, Games, and More is IGN's live news show every day of the week that covers all the day's news about games, movies, comics, and of course more. This is our daily live show that takes a rotating cast of IGN talent, going over all the latest news of the day while taking live questions and comments from chat. We're live every Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, and you can find us on mixer.com/IGN, youtube.com/IGN, and twitch.tv/IGN. See you there.
And welcome back. We are back, and we are just moments away from the start of CD Projekt's Red Night City Wire Stream, and when it kicks off. And before that can happen, we're going to unpack as much of that as we possibly can about what we think is in store. Here to discuss, please welcome IGN's Tina Amini and Paris Lilly of Gamertag Radio. Welcome.
Hi, Max.
Good morning. Exciting day.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. So, Paris, I just want to get ahead of this. You got a chance to play the game earlier this week, and you cannot talk about your hands-on impressions quite yet. But can you talk about what you hope to see in this presentation without spoiling anything or getting in trouble with any people with embargoes and NDAs signed in front of them?
You're right. Absolutely. What I really hope to see here with Night City Wire is just kind of just the big reveal of Night City itself. I want to see just this world, everything that CD Projekt Red has been creating, and just, like I said, the big reveal. I think the biggest thing I want to see out of this is the mega corporations potentially, because we've not had a lot of information about them. So when we talk about that, we're talking about Kang Tao, we're talking about Militech, and we're talking about Arasaka, because I think ultimately they may be the big villains of Cyberpunk 2077. So I really hope we get a focus on those three factions and get a lot more information.
Awesome. Tina, what about you? What are you hoping to see?
I mean, a little bit of the same thing. Like Paris basically alluded to the fact that we have seen a lot, but there's so much that we already don't know too. I mean, this world is going to be big. The storyline is clearly going to be big, filled with characters. So far in a lot of the presentations and demos, we've heard a little bit about that lost society story. We've seen the world and
right
the
now. I think we might have you muted in somewhere else right now.
Sorry.
Okay.
Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you, Tina. I think you're muted in Discord, so I can't hear you. Anyway,
Hi.
We're off to a great start.
Sorry about that, guys.
Going
Sorry
well.
about that.
It's all good.
Can you hear me now?
There we go. Okay, perfect.
So I'll recap. I'll recap what I was saying. So yeah, Paris was kind of alluding to the fact that there's a lot that we haven't seen as far as the storyline. So we do have, we know a little bit about that like lost society background. We've seen a couple of forms of quests in a lot of the demos that CD Projekt has been gracious enough to show us, and what those different play styles look like. And we know that it's an M-rated game, but I want to see more of that maturity that extends beyond just, customizing your genitals and sex scenes and relationship building. I want to know about like the mature moral complexities in storytelling. And I think Paris, you talking about the villains and the corporations and a lot of those factions and how they're incorporated into that world is going to really bring out what those conflicts are going to be. I want to know who the villains are too. I want to know what my moral gray areas are going to be in terms of picking and choosing different elements of dialogue choices or actions that I want to take. I want to see like the cybernetic body augmentation truly corroding humanity, because so far they've alluded to a lot of, a lost empire, but I want to like see that actually kind of play out and see if that means, is this like a justice versus survival thing? I want to know how painful a decision-making process basically this whole story is going to be for me when I play it out.
Nice. Now, so what's crazy to think about is this game was first announced over 8 years ago. It was in May 2012. That was a year before the Xbox One and PS4 were even revealed. It was 3 years before The Witcher 3 came out, and we even really fully understood exactly what CD Projekt Red is capable of as a developer. Hype is pretty record-breakingly high. We're talking. This is like some. This is like easily some Half-Life 3, Last Guardian, Duke Nukem Forever levels of hype, which can go either way. Are you concerned at all about maybe this letting people down, or is there anything that you kind of want to guard your expectations about, Tina?
I mean, given their pedigree with Witcher 3, and honestly, the fact that they already said that it was going to be bigger than Witcher 3, no less, and how seriously they've been taking their delay, I would say no. Apparently something like, this was a report from about a year ago, but apparently something like 400 people of their 1,000-person studios working on this thing. And I have to imagine at this point, it's even more than that. So I think that they're obviously putting a lot of their resources into it. Their delay message was super apologetic. They were really taking what the expectations were going to be seriously. They said something like they knew they would take the heat if it was anything beyond what they'd been hyping it up to be. So I think there's a lot of emphasis that they've put into the fact that they understand expectations of how players' imaginations will kind of run wild. And this is the sandbox environment where they do want it to run wild. They've referenced Rockstar before and Rockstar's style of development. One of the quest designers said something specifically about how they wanted to make sure that the game was available to help engage players that were doing unconventional activities. So I think they're very well aware of what player expectations are. For me personally, the big test is going to be how impactful those consequences are going to be in terms of the storyline, and make it feel like it's organic and natural and not programmed, because let's face it, it is programmed, but it sounds like they certainly have that top of mind.
Definitely. Paris, what about you? What are your thoughts on this in terms of sort of gauging hype safely?
Yeah, I would say on that, my biggest concern would be you have to remember that CD Projekt Red learned how to make an open world game with The Witcher 3. Obviously, it came out to be amazing. And this is going to be even more ambitious with Cyberpunk 2077. So I think, are they taking on too much? Are they trying to do too many things at once? Not only is it an RPG, you have these branching storylines, you have this huge open world, you're launching it across multiple platforms, current gen, next gen, PC, etc. So we've obviously already seen it be delayed a couple times. So I do think it's going to ultimately be amazing. But if I had any concern, it would just be that is this too ambitious of a product, and can they actually pull it off? And hey, we're about to find out in a few minutes.
Definitely. I think ambitious is exactly the right word. I wish we could talk about Cyberpunk forever, but right now we need to take a very quick break. We will be right back for more talk about Cyberpunk.
IGN Summer of Gaming is presented by The Last of Us Part 2, available June 19th, rated M for mature. By the Army National Guard, working in our communities throughout the COVID pandemic to deliver food, build hospitals, and more. Go to nationalguard.com/esports for more info. And by Fuser, who will be partying with us all summer long.
The next generation of video gaming is on the horizon, and IGN is here to bring you the latest PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X news and analysis in our new weekly show, Next Gen Console Watch 2020. We'll bring on the experts to discuss and analyze all the latest developments around these new consoles. From frame rates, services, features, peripherals, and even all the new tech jargon, Next Gen Console Watch 2020 will keep you up to speed on everything leading up to the next generation of gaming. Join us every Friday for a new episode.
Not only is IGN the world's biggest media brand for games and entertainment, but we also have a team of some of the world's biggest fans of your favorite franchises. From breaking news and exclusives, never-before-seen looks at movies and games, to reviews, let's plays, and live streams, IGN brings you all the coverage you need, no matter where you are. IGN, the #1 source for all games and entertainment fans worldwide.
Everybody loves watching a speedrun of their favorite game. But what if you got the opportunity to peek into the minds of the developers while they watch their games getting completely wrecked? That's exactly what happens in every episode of Game Devs React to speedruns.
You can do that. Oh my god!
We invite you to ride along with the developers as they react to, question, and enjoy some of the most skilled players exploiting and speeding through a game it took years of their life to create. Join us every Saturday for a new episode.
Hey there! Do you have opinions on games, movies, TV, or other weird stuff on the internet? You can take part in our new show, Power Ranking, where you can vote on all your favorite things on the internet. Do it now! Do it! Just go! Vote! Go vote!
News, games, and more is IGN's live news show every day of the week that covers all the day's news about games, movies, comics, and of course more. This is our daily live show that takes a rotating cast of IGN talent, going over all the latest news of the day while taking live questions and comments from chat. We're live every Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. See you there.
Welcome back. And now, not surprisingly, we are not the only ones who are excited for Cyberpunk 2077. I think a lot of people are. Summer of Gaming is presented by the Army National Guard, so let's check in with our gaming guardsmen to see what they're looking forward to in today's Night City Wire event. All right. Well, unsurprisingly, we aren't the only ones excited for Cyberpunk 2077. All right. Summer of Gaming is presented by the Army National Guard, so let's check in with our gaming guardsmen to see what they're looking forward to in today's Night City Wire event.
Hey everyone, my name is Specialist Flores. I'm with the Army National Guard. I'm the Stream Team Media Manager for our esports program, and I'm currently stationed in Texas. When I'm not on guard duty, I actually work in medical billing. However, what I really love is gaming. And for this Summer of Gaming, what I'm looking forward to the most is the Night City Wire event for Cyberpunk 2077. And I'm really looking for two things. One, I want to see more of a gameplay demo. It's been months since we've seen the last one, and I'm very curious to see what the final product is starting to look like. Now, two is Johnny Silverhand. I want to be able to play Johnny Silverhand at least in a flashback or an origin story. So hopefully they hint at that, because that'd be super cool. Because I mean, come on. Who doesn't want to play as Keanu Reeves? Well, in short, I hope y'all are having a wonderful Summer of Gaming, and see y'all in Night City. Bye.
Okay, so we've had 8 years to prepare for this game, but when everyone finally starts it up, they will undoubtedly spend hours in the character creator. Have either of you put any thought into what kind of V you'll be playing with your first playthrough? Tina?
It's so tough because, well, obviously I'm going to go female V because I usually do for self-representation there. But yeah, it's so tough because normally I love stealth. I'm big on stealth, which should mean I should go the Netrunner style. But I feel like, you know, if you're constantly putting points into hacking specifically, you kind of detract from those panicked moments when you inevitably get caught and need to go guns blazing. Fortunately, in Cyberpunk's case, they have got a fluid class system, so I'll probably do a combination of those things. And then in terms of life path, because there's just so many elements to a Cyberpunk character that you could possibly make your own. So for life path, I like the philosophy behind Nomad because it's very much about like justice and freedom. But more realistically, I'll probably go street kid because you need those street kid sensibilities in those tough neighborhoods, I imagine.
Paris, what about you?
I may or may not have had a little practice with this already, but I'm definitely going to go with a female V. She's definitely going to be African American. She's definitely going to have a lifestyle. She's going to have a corporate background, and I'm going to be a techie for sure.
Nice. I'm really tempted to just fully lean into the role-playing side of it and try to recreate like an iconic Cyberpunk character. Molly Millions from Neuromancer is sort of like she's kind of a street kid, but she has like, I don't know, cybernetic claws. I don't know if you can even do that in the game. Hero protagonist from Snow Crash, be like a Netrunner with swords. I think I'm going street kid either way, though. But I mean, obviously, this is a game meant to be played multiple ways. Now we've got just a few seconds to go. I don't even know what to do to kill time for 30 seconds left. This is finally kicking off. We have a ton of stuff lined up for later in the day. We also have a next gen console watch later today where we're going to be still talking about this. We're going to be unpacking this demo for quite some time. We've got a ways until the game actually comes out. And of course, we have Up at Noon, a show that I do where me and my pal Brian Altano goof around. We're going to be talking a little bit about some recommended Cyberpunk reading and watching, as well as checking out some exclusive statues. 9 seconds to go. I'm going to shut up and get out of the way. Wake the F up, Samurai. We got a live stream to watch. Let's check it out.
Thanks.
You don't believe in no fate. Every day digging the grave. Step in the pit with the snakes. City of dreams, city of...
Hello and welcome to this, the very first episode of Night City Wire, a brand new series from us at CD Projekt Red where we'll be talking about all things Cyberpunk 2077. For today's episode, we'll be starting with a brand new trailer. One of our developers will be joining us to help unpack everything you're going to see. We'll have some news, an announcement about a secret collaboration. We'll be taking a look at some braindance gameplay and welcoming back our developers just to have a chat about everything you're going to see. But there is one more thing. Media all over the world have been getting hands-on with Cyberpunk 2077, and when this episode finishes, you'll be able to go and check out exactly what they thought. So, let's get started. It is time to take a look at our brand new trailer, and after that, our lead quest designer Pavel Sasko will be joining us because I've got a feeling you're going to have a few questions after watching this. So, let's take a look.
Love this town. The city of endless opportunity. Ready to get your cherry popped? Yeah, come on!
City like any other, just bigger.
Nah, mano, not just any other city. Legends are born here.
The Major Leagues. We're only here because Dex is pulling the strings. Doubt that puts us in the same league as them.
But we are. They just don't know it yet. But if you got the cojones and you know how to use them, you can do damn near anything.
Unless you catch a bull.
Even then, you go out with a bang, right?
You know, you can make heaps more eddies as a motivational speaker.
Yo, Mr. V, a pleasure.
So what's the gig, Dex? You meant to come out in one piece? How about we go over the plan?
There's this prototype tech, a biochip to be precise. Jobs to grab it.
Guessing it belongs to a court.
Arasaka.
We're robbing some heavy hitters.
Thought you could blackmail me, fucker?
High risk, high reward. First rule of the afterlife.
Ka-ching, baby.
Goes without saying, we do this on the hush. Ideally, no bodies, not a one.
Sounds simple enough.
He's lit, assholes!
Is it gonna be dangerous?
Don't you worry, mi amor. We're bulletproof. Get your ass moving now!
What the fuck just happened in there?
Can't stop digging Night City.
Fucking Major Leagues. Happy now, Jackie?
Yep, that's fucking high! Time to bail!
Oh my god, we're so fucked.
Dex, what the fuck?
Damn risky, V.
And you, who are you? Fuck.
So the trailer contains footage from the game's prologue only, but there was an awful lot in it. So Pavel, why don't you try and help us unpack everything that we just saw?
Oh yeah, I mean, absolutely, I can try. So what you have just seen is only the prologue of the game. So that awesome stuff is only happening in the first few quests. What the trailer shows you is really our stage, the Night City. You know, this gigantic city built of 6 completely unique districts, surrounded by the 7th one that we call the Badlands. As a player, you are meeting Jackie. Jackie's your friend. Now, they together are trying to reach out for something that is very precious. They are trying to reach out for this chip of immortality, this gateway to eternal life. Jackie introduces you to Fixer Dexter Deshawn. He's a very important person in the social ladder of Cyberpunk. He is able to provide the player with various jobs and contracts to be able to gather money, to be able to modify their bodies, push themselves to the limits, to put their hands on the chip. But as you can expect, not everything goes as planned, and but to see it, you will have to play the game.
There are an awful lot of really cool things in this trailer, and there's a few that I would just love to talk about a little bit more for the people at home. So let's start with talking about a gang called the Mox. Now, we see a few flashes of them in this trailer. I personally think they're really cool and one of my favorites, but can you give us a little bit more information about them?
Oh yes, so the Mox is one of the gangs that player is going to interact with throughout the game. The Mox is the gang that has been formed in 2076 after death of Elizabeth Borden. She was called Lizzie. Now, she was an owner of a brothel and former sex worker, and she was protecting working guys and girls from harassment, from abuse, and the gang is really continuing her mission. And as a player, you are going to interact with that gang, meet multiple different NPCs, and craft your own relationship with them, and understand what they are all about.
So earlier on, you did mention a 7th district, a place called the Badlands. Now, we saw a few shots of this in the trailer, but I'd love for you to give us a bit more detail about the district outside of the city walls.
Okay, so the Badlands is this like dead, dried out space going around the whole Night City. And as a player, you'll be able to traverse that space in your car or motorcycle. This is a space that is inhabited by the nomads. Nomads are living in different families, and they are traveling across that space in convoys made out of the cars and motorcycles. And as a player, you'll be able to traverse and access different type of open world content that has been prepared specifically for you to get that awesome feel of the Badlands as an area.
In the trailer, we also saw like a completely metal creature. Now, he didn't look like he was from the Maelstrom gang. This looked like something else. So please tell the people at home, who is this giant metal monster?
Okay, so that big dude, that was Adam Smasher. He has been introduced in pen and paper in Cyberpunk 2020 by our senpai Mike Pondsmith. Adam Smasher is a fully converted cyborg. He was always a loyalist of Arasaka. And time has changed, and in 2077 he had to find his own space in Night City, but to find out you'll have to play the game.
In this trailer, we do see some flashes of a Ripper Doc called Victor Vector. I think if people have watched our previous gameplays, they might remember him. But I'd really like for you to give the people at home some more information about what Ripper Docs are and how they'll be interacting with them when they play Cyberpunk.
So Ripper Docs in our game, they are surgeons. They are like a specific type of a job in the social ladder of Cyberpunk. They are accustomed and specialized in replacing limbs to the metal ones. They can basically update your body, enhance your body, change you into this walking war machine. And as a player, you are going to meet different kind of Ripper Docs in the game, craft your own relationship with them. Some of them are like important characters for a story. Through that, you will invest eddies that you're gathering to turn your body into this tool that allows you to survive on the streets of Night City.
Pavel, thank you so much for joining us. I know you'll be back later in the episode because you're going to be helping us to analyze the braindance gameplay. But before that, we do have some news to share. Earlier in the year, we announced that if you pick up Cyberpunk 2077 on Xbox One, you'll be able to play it on Xbox Series X when the console launches. And just in case you missed it, it will be the same for PlayStation players as well. If you pick up Cyberpunk 2077 on PlayStation 4, you'll also be able to play it on PlayStation 5 when the console launches. And that's not all. There will be a free upgrade for Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5, but we'll have more details on that soon.
To Night City.
Before we reveal our first look at the braindance gameplay and welcome back our developers for a chat, there is just one more thing we want to announce, something that we've been working on in secret for a while. We are very excited to announce our partnership with Studio Trigger and Netflix to bring you Cyberpunk Edgerunners, a standalone anime set in the Cyberpunk universe, which we've been working on for some time now. Edgerunners is due to launch in 2022, but for some more information, let's go to the team in Tokyo.
Hi, my name is Saya Elder. I am the Japan-based producer for Cyberpunk Edgerunners. What I do basically on this project is that I am a fixer, to put it in the words of the Cyberpunk universe. We are a game company. We are a bunch of nerds, and wherever there are nerds, there's going to be anime fans. so it was always a dream for us to make anime. When we began this project, we were certain that we didn't want to make a recreation of the game. Cyberpunk Edge Runners is a standalone story set in the same universe. The stage is still Night City, but everything else is totally new. New characters, new story. I do like to think that it's going to be a great gateway for newcomers to come and check Cyberpunk game and also the Cyberpunk genre as a whole. Right now we're in Nakano, which is one of the biggest anime meccas of the world. I'm going to take you to Studio Trigger right now because we have the wonderful opportunity to talk to the dream team that will be bringing you this anime.
こんにちは。トリガーの代表取締役の大塚です。
監督の今石です。
キャラクターデザインを担当する吉成です。
ゲームのサイバーパンクのファンの方、今回初めて触れる方両方に満足していただけるようにアニメを作るつもりです。よろしくお願いします。
今回はそのサイバーパンクという僕らが10代の一ファンにしか過ぎなかった頃に生まれたジャンル、そういうジャンルのものをまた、時代が何周もして作れるというのが非常に楽しみです。
トリガーも10年ということで、監督に今石、キャラクターデザインに吉成というトリガーの最強の布陣で、トリガー10周年にふさわしい作品にしていきたいと思います。お楽しみに。
Now it is time to show you some gameplay of Braindance. This is a feature that you'll experience when you play Cyberpunk 2077. Braindance is essentially a recording of somebody else's experience. It allows you to relive their sense of sight, smell, touch, and even hearing, all thanks to a special device. After the gameplay, I will be welcoming back Pavel Sasko, and will also be joined by Patrick Mills, our senior quest designer and all-round lore master, who will be helping to answer your questions and give you some explanation on how you'll be interacting with Braindance when you play Cyberpunk 2077. So, let's take a look.
Plan simple. Do nothing odd. Don't get creative. You go in, snatch the cash, get out. And we sell the BD to those psycho freaks from the studio.
Got it.
And remember, everything on full blast. They'll spot us extra for a wicked adrenaline high. Okay, on you go.
Down! Everybody! On the ground! I want to see you kissing the flooring! Money! Now! Or I will fucking drop you, I swear to God! Well, yeah, hey... now! Before I blow your fucking head off!
Ah! Slow, deep breaths. Your cortisol and adrenaline spiked, but the soft activated your hormone blockers. Nothing happened. You're alive and well.
That was too much. Could feel the guy's pain, his stress, his hope. Hope wrapped up in something else.
Mm-hmm. Probably took a booster just before. You'll be fine. Got everything set up? Let's switch over to editing mode.
I'll sever the link to the BD Roller's sensory array. You'll be able to look around freely. Whole scene's yours. Full cam control in analysis mode, so move around, zoom in and out, whatever else you come up with. Think of it as your own little sandbox. So analysis mode, you control playback. Can even pause when you feel the need. Then you use the editor console to unpause. Try it.
Plan simple. Do nothing odd. Don't get creative. You go in, snatch the cash, get out. And we sell the BD to those psycho freaks from the studio.
Got it.
Dream as hell, right? Well, that's not all. You can speed things up or rewind, whatever you like. Give it a try. Rewind, roll it back to the top. All good, neat. Now try fast forwarding a bit.
Plan simple. Do nothing odd. Don't get creative. You go in, snatch the cash, get out.
Okay. You can also reset the recording. That'll take you right back to the beginning. Try it. Now for some fun. This here's why you came in the first place. In analysis mode, you get to view and even scan details of the enviro recorded by the BD roller. Focus on the heat, the gun this gonk gets from his buddy at the beginning. Now scan it.
Plan simple. Do nothing odd. Don't get creative. You go in, snatch the cash, get out. And we sell the BD to those psycho freaks from the studio. And remember, keep on full blast. That's all you have to do.
Okay, right here. Excellent. Let's move on. Now heads up. In analysis mode, you can ferret out background noise and conversations if the roller got close enough. This tech records everything, every little detail, even the sights and sounds the roller was never aware of. To see the sources of the recorded sensory signals, switch to the audio layer in the editor. Go ahead and try that now. Okay, good. Now you should see several sound signatures in the store. Choose one and hone in on it.
Pack of 6, case of Brosif, and a couple of zappers.
Okay, we have a deal today on 2 flavors. Cuddy and Down, surfing. everybody!
So, any thoughts?
Unbelievable. Seriously, like what's happening right next to me.
Yeah, it's how BD recording implants work. They pick up everything, all the elements in the background. Then an editor tweaks them, makes them pop. Keep playing with the sound, explore it a bit. We'll move on when you get bored.
I wanna see you kissing the flooring! Money! Net!
Sometimes you can analyze extra layers in the raw, stuff the roller's cyberware picked up.
Like what?
Ev's got Kiroshi optics that grab infrared, meaning you should be able to grab heat signatures from her recording.
Huh. Hella nice.
Scanning works on peeps, too. Walk up to the wounded chick. Try scanning her. Alright, next thing. Scroll forward to the part where our artist gets a lead injection.
Or I will fucking drop you, I swear to God! Well, now, fucking head off!
See that? They shot him and he never saw it coming. But you will. Here it comes. My favorite part of the game. See the blinking thing over the entrance? Surveillance cam. Must have caught our shooter. You'll see in a sec. Cam feeds to the screen behind the clerk. Roll back to where the screen's in the kid's field of vision, then scan it. His own Chumba shot him. Probably planned to all along. Must have got a nice slice of cred on the black market for a BD like this. BD freaks are ready to pay a preem for a real flatline. Anyway, if you've seen enough, you can exit. Yeah, it's impressive, right? It's too bad most of the BDs we do here are only good for flogging the log.
So braindance is a pretty big part of the Cyberpunk universe. It's not just something used for adult films. There is an awful lot to it. And there's 2 sides I'd really like you guys to help me explore. First is the lore, so how this actually fits into the universe. And then there's the gameplay side, so how players will be interacting with it. So Patrick, could you tell us more about the lore of braindance?
I would love to. So in the world of Cyberpunk 2077, braindance was invented way back in the early 2000s at UC Santa Cruz. It was developed as a way of recording a person's experiences and then playing them back for someone else so that they could relive them as though it was happening to them. It was originally used for things like therapy and prisoner rehabilitation, but by 2077, it's become this global media industry, including things like movies, mass entertainment, things like that, video games, some interactive things, and of course, adult fare as well. Now, in our game, we deal a lot with black brain dances, or XBDs as we call them, and there are different types of those, but the one that you saw in the trailer just there was a flatliner. Now that's where the person recording it actually dies during the recording, and it's popular with sort of an illicit kind of a thrill, but
a mercenary can also use them for various things, and you'll see that in the game, of course.
And from the gameplay perspective, we have been working a lot throughout last years trying to figure out the best way how to use the braindance in the game as a mechanics. So what we have settled on is this braindance editor mode. As a player, you will be able to run the braindance in the editor mode and see different clues that have been registered on the peripheral of given actor. Now, as a player, you can slide on the timeline of the recording back and forth, trying to uncover different clues. And that clues are actually telling a story in the game. So, as a player, you will run different investigations that will lead you to different mysteries, and you will uncover them actually using that braindance as a mechanics in the game.
So, as Pavel was saying, we use braindance as a storytelling tool. It's not a collectible. It's not something where you're going to go in and you're going to play it and you're going to be like, I've seen this before. What we use braindance for is to give you a keyhole into the life of the residents of Night City. And we can explore things like childhood trauma, religion, various philosophical ideas in a way that you might not otherwise experience in a story about a mercenary on the tough streets.
So we've tried to talk about some of the aspects that we think the community will find really exciting, but you know, while you're both here, I'd love to know, what is it about Cyberpunk that you guys are really excited for? Patrick, why don't you start?
So one of the things that I'm most excited about in this game is the characters and the way they interact with the world. We've got this really interesting world that stretches all the way back to the Cyberpunk 2020 source material and all of these events and all of those things, but those don't mean anything unless they connect with characters. And so when we come up with a character, we start with their function. What is this person? What do they do in the story? But we don't stop there. We go back and we figure out, what was their childhood like? What was their upbringing like? What kind of obstacles did they face in this harsh reality, and did they overcome them? And how did they overcome them, or did they not overcome them, and why? And you can see all of those things in their environment, in their dialogues, in sort of how they operate in the world. And we come up with that for all of our characters. Now, you look at someone like Victor Vector, and you're going to see stories about his past in his environment and in his dialogue. You know, we come up with that stuff even if we don't use it in the game, because it helps inform us as to who these characters are.
And for me, I would not be myself if I would not say that I'm the most excited about our quests. Like with our Witcher 3 team, with Patrick and like everybody that has stayed with us since the Witcher 3 time, we really have grown so much. We have learned so much, and we have used all that experience to put them into the quest that we have made. And you will not find really a filler in this game. Like everything has a meaning. Like we put so much effort into making sure that everything is rewarding, is interesting, is talking about characters, as Patrick said, is talking about worlds, is talking about emotions, like touching the player in a really, like a real way. And I just can't wait to find out what you think.
Pavel, I know you mentioned story and quests and writing quests, and when I was last in the studio, I had a look and I saw a notebook on your desk, and I would love for you to show everybody this notebook.
Okay, Holly, I mean, you asked for it. So this is my notebook. It says Salsa Quest Designer. The reason is because I dance salsa, and I'm a quest designer, so you know. So I started this notebook actually when we were really starting Cyberpunk. At the very beginning, I wrote like a first note, and it says pretty much something along the lines of that we were starting with a prototype. And then, you know, I kept on basically noting things that we've been working on for like next years. I remember once when our concept artists actually approached me, and they said that they want to take a look on my notebook. I was like, what for actually? And they took some pictures. And they told me, yeah, well, you know, because we are looking for a reference material for notes of a psychopathic killer. Yeah, well, you may find maybe some of my notes in the game.
Pavel and Patrick, thank you so much for joining me. I'm pretty lucky because I have read some of the stories that you and the team have written for Braindance, and I'm pretty excited for people to discover them. But before we do finish today's episode, there is just one more thing we'd like to talk about. Earlier in this episode, I mentioned that media have been getting hands-on with the opening of Cyberpunk 2077, and they should be posting their impressions right about now. And if you missed anything from today's episode, don't worry, we'll be uploading everything to our channels very soon. And finally, on behalf of everybody at CD Projekt Red, we just want to say thank you so much for joining us for this, the very first episode of Night City Wire. But don't worry, we'll be back with episode 2 in just a few weeks. So, we shall see you soon.
This doomed, distant land needs a hero.
Holy moly, there you have it, another heaping dose of Cyberpunk 2077 to hold us over for the 147 days until this game comes out. I wish those were less days. If you just tuned in, I'm Max Scoville, and I'm joined once more by Tina Amini and Paris Lilly, along with Miranda Sanchez. And don't forget to support the two great charities by following the links in the video description, or get yourself some bonus Summer of Gaming content by downloading by downloading the TikTok app and searching IGN Summer of Gaming hashtag. Back to Night City. There is so much we want to talk about, but let's start with some general impressions of the stream. What stood out for everyone here? Let's start with Miranda. I think I know what you want to talk about. Take it away.
Hi, yes, I am screaming because we saw a logo for